Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Going to be talking about every movie I watched last week. I really only had one main theme for the week, which was Spider-Man, or at least the last half of the week, I should say. And yeah, I watched 17 movies, so I had a pretty good week. And with that being said, let's get into it. Starting it off with the main theme of the week and my my least favorite watch of the week, which is also my last watch of the week, which is Spider-Man The Dragon's Challenge, which is the old 1981 um, Spider-Man. If you've never seen it, I don't blame you. It's not good. Spider-Man isn't even in this movie, to be honest. He's literally not. And yeah, ranked it a 21 out of 100, one of my least favorite Marvel movies ever. So that's always fun. And let's move on to the start of that trilogy with Spider Man from 1977, which I ranked a 49 out of 100. It's totally okay. It's not great by any means. There's not a lot of great representation to Spider Man, Peter, or Peter's surrounding friends and family, apart from May, to be honest. But yeah, that's it's fine. 49. Let's move on to Infinity Pool, which I finally have finished my Cronenberg goals this week, and I wanted to watch two of Brandon Cronenberg's movies. This was one of them, and Infinity Pool I thought was totally okay. I ranked it a 50 out of 100. Definitely not my favorite movie by any means. I thought this was going to be like an awesome psychological, gory horror because of the movie poster, but it's really nothing like that. It's interesting though. I guess I rated it a 50 out of 100. Let's move on to Spider-Man Strikes Back, which is my favorite of the trilogy, which came out in 1978, and I ranked it a 56 out of 100. Definitely some moments of interest. Again, not very much to do with Spider-Man. Well, there's much more Spider-Man in this one than probably any of the other two movies, but again, not really a whole lot to do with Peter or Spider-Man or his supporting characters, but whatever. I somewhat enjoyed it. Ranked it a 56 out of 100. Let's move on to Videodrome, which is one of the movies that I've gone the longest without rewatching. I ranked this originally way back in like 2022, early when I started ranking movies, I believe, and I enjoyed it mostly because it made me feel gross. And this time it made me feel gross, but not as much. And even though I didn't remember anything about it, I just didn't enjoy it very much. I ranked it a 59 out of 100. I realized that the Cronenberg family movies are just not for me. I don't care for most of them, and yeah, it was fine. Let's move on to how I spent my Friday night with Masters of the Universe, the original 1987 one. It's not great. It's got some fun moments. It's very 80s, but um, I mean, I don't know anything about Masters of the Universe or He Man, so I don't know if I'm really the best um, to talk about it, obviously. But there's some enjoyable moments. But I'm sure, as an actual fan of the series, if you were growing up in that era as well, probably not great. Similar to those original Spider-Man movies that I was just talking about. So, 60 out of 100. Let's move on to the last Cronenberg movie on this list, which is Possessor, which I ranked a 62 out of 100. Probably the most interesting out of any Cronenberg movie that I've watched. Probably this year, to be honest. I've watched a fair bit of David Cronenberg's, and I just didn't really enjoy most of them. And for the two Brennan Cronenberg movies that I watched this week, they're both okay. Possessor, I ranked a 62 out of 100. It's just not my favorite movie, but it's interesting to say the least. Kind of confusing, but it was interesting. So let's move on to my least favorite of the mainstream Spider-Man movies, which is The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I ranked a 69 out of 100. This at one point really was truly my favorite Spider-Man movie. Um, it's changed so much since then. It's not even close. It's literally my least favorite of the mainstream Spider-Man movies, which is really sad because there are some good moments in this, but there's some pretty fucking shit moments in this too. And if you want to nitpick this enough, Especially these two movies specifically, these two TASM movies. If you want to nitpick them enough, you really could, and they're bad if you really nitpick them. Especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. Sometimes there's so many good moments of Spider and Peter and Gwen, and there's so many fucking bad moments that surround that. But yeah, I don't know. 69 out of 100. Let's move on to Masters of the Universe, the 2026 movie, which I did not get to see in theaters. Sadly, I really wanted to. I just never got around to it, and it wasn't even in theaters long enough, to be honest. So, yeah, I ranked it a 71 out of 100. I think it's good. Kind of leaned into comedy a little bit too much, but it was a lot of fun, and it's visually pleasing. It's beautiful. The colors look pretty good. Some of the CGI was a little wonky, but overall, is an enjoyable watch, and I rank it a 71 out of 100. Let's move on to Troy, which is actually how I started the week. Um, Not quite as good or fun or interesting as Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, and of course, a lot of people have been comparing these two movies because they're very similar but different takes on a similar but different story. Um, but yeah, I think it's good. I think there's lots to enjoy in this movie. Achilles is pretty awesome. The epic fights are pretty awesome as well. There's these really large scale fights that are pretty sweet. But yeah, ranked it a 74 out of 100. Let's move on to The Amazing Spider-Man, which I have ranked a 75 out of 100. And I believe that's up a couple of points from my last rating, which was a 73. So nice. I guess I enjoyed it a little bit more this time. There's some really great moments in this. Similarly, I can pretty much repeat everything I said for TASM 2. There's some really high highs in this. Well, there's some lows. Not as low, but there are some lows. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, I would just find it more of a enjoyable movie compared to TASM 2. And I feel like many people would probably agree with that. All right, let's move on to Grown Ups 2, which Mel and I watched this week, which I ranked it a 78 out of 100. This might honestly be funnier than the first Grown Ups, which I love the first Grown Ups. I watched it last week, and yeah, it's one of my favorite summer watches every year. Mel and I pretty much watch them together. But yeah, Grown Ups 2, I think it might honestly be funnier than the original. It's just not as good, you know? But I love movies that take place in a day, in a singular day. I think that's a lot of fun, and I like that concept, and I like that about Grown Ups 2 as well. And this is fun, and yeah, just kind of a wild ride, to be honest. But 78 out of 100. Actually, you can see I liked Mel's two reviews for it. She last ranked a 3 star. This time ranked it a 4.5. So a huge jump for Mel. So shout out Mel. All right, let's move on to a documentary, Unknown Number, The High School Catfish, which Mel did spoil this for me when this came out. I thought last year. I'm pretty sure last year, but I also kind of thought it was this year. It says 2025, but I don't remember, to be honest. But Mel did spoil this for me because she had heard about it. What was wild was like 3 minutes into the movie. Well, spoilers, I guess. 3 minutes into the movie, in the documentary, we see the mom, and I'm like, wait, Mel, I thought the mom was the one who did this. Why is she in this documentary? And she's like, I don't know. And she was just messing with me, but yeah, I can't believe she decided to be in this documentary. That's wild. And this girl is delusional. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, but yeah, it was entertaining. And to be honest, I was locked in for most of this documentary. I thought it was quite solid, and I ranked it at 80 out of 100. Let's move on to what's been consuming my life in social media, which is The Odyssey, which not the movie. Sorry, The Odyssey: The Making of an Epic. It's a little documentary. Yeah, I mean, kind of. It's a little documentary of the making of The Odyssey, which is fun. I am going to see The Odyssey again tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it because I genuinely believe that I'm going to like this movie a lot more because I'm going to appreciate so much more of it this time, knowing how much of everything, all of these little pieces are put together to make this literal, genuine, huge epic. And I'm really excited to watch it again. So yeah, also ranked this in 80 out of 100. And now let's move on to my favorite Spider-Man trilogy, which is the live action Toby movies. Starting it off with Spider-Man 3, which I ranked in 82 out of 100. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun. I will say, Black Suit definitely carries a lot of moments for me in this movie. I think it's great, and I love that about it. But there are some moments that aren't as great. It hits an insane flow state of cringe throughout this movie more than any of the other two do. And yeah, I mean, more often than not, I find I'm either enjoying myself or I'm laughing. Whether it's laughing with the movie or at the movie, kind of depends on the viewing, to be honest. But this time, ranked it at 82 out of 100. And then let's move on to the first Spider-Man, which I have ranked a 91 out of 100. I did raise it 1 point. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a great origin story. I love I was supposed to say I love Norman Osborn as as Green Goblin. I love Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. I think that's a fantastic casting. I've always thought that he's the best. I mean, yeah, I think he's. I don't know. I was gonna say I think he's the best Toby villain, but I don't think I do. I think Doc Ock is the best Toby villain, but he's the best Tom villain, which I don't even think is really much of a hot take to say. But yeah, I don't know. It's good. It's damn good. There's a lot of fun moments going on throughout this entire trilogy, and I miss that Sam Raimi sauce. And this is a lot of fun. 91 out of 100, which brings us to my favorite watch of the week, my favorite of the trilogy, which is Spider Man 2. It's always been my favorite of the trilogy. That's kind of basic, I guess, but it's just the best movie of the trilogy, in my opinion. And I have it ranked a 97 out of 100, my one and only 5 star for the week. And my third favorite Spider-Man movie, my favorite live action Spider-Man movie. And next week we've got Brand New Day. And yeah, I'm excited to rewatch the Tom movies as well. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.